From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
While this is your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today, it's also an update of probably the most shocking day of breaking news that I've seen in several months on this channel. Every minute, another shocking development hit across the board for stimulus. First, the CDC eviction moratorium ruled unlawful by a federal court. I have the breaking details on that. Second, the Social Security Administration and the IRS says if you've not filed a 2020 return, go do it right away if you're on benefits to get that stimulus check. Third, major shocking developing news across the board as the White House responds to the developing details about the eviction moratorium and tries to scramble to fix the situation. Then we have a new announcement from the CDC that worries that this coming May, there could be a surge of COVID cases because of the variant. Then other states could be changing their policies about FPUC. Montana is among the states that has announced today that it's set to end FPUC 2 months ahead of time. Why is this and who is this? Meantime, a really surprising detail that came out of nowhere as states are ordered to refund back jobless benefits that they ordered as overpayments to be refunded to them. The Labor Department minutes ago says they need to pay you that money back as well. Boy, I can't keep track of all that, but guess what? I will, because this is Afternoons LALATE, and there's a lot of money coming to you, and I have all the details and these shocking breaking news developments right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. What a day it is. I don't think I've ever seen so much breaking news in a single day across the board. This is LALATE, and this is Afternoons LALATE. Hope you are good and safe. And there I go. I went out of focus for a second, but here I am. Boy, I have a big update about your fourth stimulus check in this recording, the monthly stimulus check that pays you out in the month of July. But I have all these other breaking details about big money that could be coming to you, big money that could be stopped from some states, and other money that's coming across the board. It's a big recording. And guess what? In 2 hours from now, I'm back with Evenings LA that will go into other details about fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus. But the two shows do not repeat the content, so make sure you watch both shows tonight. The next one's in 2 hours from now. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe because I don't want you to miss a single minute of breaking news. It's that way today. If you're new to this channel, this is LALATE, the only 24-hour-a-day, 7 days a week breaking financial news channel across the board. I don't want you to miss anything, so make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video, 3,000 likes, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Let's start with the stimulus check, the fourth stimulus check, so we get that out of the way, and then we go to the other developing details that are impacting that monthly stimulus check. The monthly stimulus check is the single biggest payout you'll ever see in the history of this channel, and it starts with either a House plan or a Senate plan. The House plan provides a stimulus check under the fourth stimulus package every month for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. The Senate plan would provide you a stimulus check from now to December. So there's a lot more checks when we're looking at the House plan. Well, how much are the monthly checks? Let's compare. The House plan would provide the first check would be $2,000 for the first month. That's July. And then every month thereafter, August thereafter, would be $1,000 a month. The Senate plan does not state how much they would do, but word on the street, this is how much the senators would do. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000, or $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. Who gets this? Same people who got third stimulus, same eligibility. 75,000 or less, you get it. 150,000 or more or less, married couple, you get double the amount. household 4 or less. So there are 4 people in the household, quadruple the amount. And finally, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, you get it as well. The amount of the stimulus check for adult dependents and minor dependents is the same as everyone else. You all get the same amount of stimulus check across the board. And what's incredible great news is that it's not income, it's not a taxable event, and that money comes to you starting in the month of July. It is the single biggest payout you've ever seen in this history of this channel, and that money is really money that you need and money right now. So incredible great news for that 4th stimulus. I'm back in focus. Yeah, that's what I was doing. So great news. The stimulus checks would start in the month of July, for the month of July, and continue a month after that. We don't know anything about child support, whether it's taken out or not taken out support. It is the 4th stimulus package. It is an add-on to the 4th stimulus. It is a 4th stimulus package, but it's an add-on from those House and Senate members. More about that 4th stimulus check and those monthly payments later in this recording, but now let me cut to the real shocking developments, one after another today. Let's hit each of them, and they're all about you and your stimulus. Breaking development detail news number 1 was that the CDC eviction moratorium was ruled unlawful. The CDC eviction moratorium that dates back to the Trump administration was ruled unlawful by a federal court. That federal court determined that the federal national eviction moratorium that protects you from being evicted as a tenant is unlawful. And this now puts people at risk of losing their home 2 months earlier than when the eviction moratorium was set to expire. The White House is scrambling to deal with the situation, issuing a statement late today saying that they're not quite sure how to deal with the situation. The statement came from the press secretary saying that the president is addressing the situation and understands the severity of the outcome. This is not the first time that a federal court has ruled the CDC eviction moratorium unlawful. Does it result in you not getting protection for your home going forward from the CDC eviction moratorium? It's too hard to tell. One viewer named Scott said he went to court with a CDC eviction moratorium and the judge threw it back in his face. We really don't know the real impact across this from the board. The White House issued this following statement today on news of the breaking developing details. We recognize the importance of the eviction moratorium for Americans who have fallen back on rent during the pandemic. It's clearly had a huge benefit. That's the first breaking news. The second breaking news came from Republican-led Montana. The Republican governor of Montana issued a statement today. His name is Greg Gianforte, that his state will no longer apply for FPUC benefits anymore, and that FPUC will end in his state 2 months earlier. The news came on also other news that other Republican states may do the same. This is huge. This would basically mean that if you were expecting FPUC in July, in August, in September, in June, that your state, if it's led by a Republican, may step back and say, we don't want it anymore. We want our workers back to work. We're not going to provide that anymore. This is shocking. The report said today that while Montana is the only state to do this, ending FPUC in June, while it's provided from the federal government till September, they're expecting a sea of Republican-led governor states to do the same in the next few days. Oh boy, that is the latest shocking development, and I'm not done yet. What else is happening? Well, the CDC announced today that the B.1.1 variant is spreading quicker than anticipated and could cause a surge of COVID cases in this month. This is after vaccination drives have just shown a sharp decline. The B.1.1.7 is the London variant. I've been detailing on this channel for over 4 months, and I've been telling you that there's expected to be a surge. They're now worried that the massive surge could be this month. And then there's another breaking development details, and this happened just in really the last few minutes before I went on air. This didn't even happen earlier today. A new statement from the Labor Department says that states must return you the money that they had overpaid you for unemployment. What is this about? Hundreds of thousands of workers around the country were asked to return their unemployment benefits since 2020 all the way through this year from states that said they overpaid you. The scenario was the following. Some states overpaid people for unemployment, and then they sent you a letter saying, we overpaid you, send us back the money. Some workers returned the money. Now the Labor Department has issued a memo today stating that the states had no right to demand you to return the money, and that they have to return the money now to you. Oh boy. But it could take up to a year for those states to return the money back to you that they wrongly asked for you to return to them. Okay, we're not done yet. I got more breaking developing details on top of that. Then there is a new shocker that came out the start of today, which is the PPP program has run out of money. Yes, the PPP grant program, which was supposed to stay live all the way to September, and that was just extended by executive order by the president no less than, about 10 days ago, has run out of money. If this sounds even more shocking, it may have been shocking to the vice president. The vice president today and yesterday met with JP Morgan Chase's head, Jamie Dimon, featured last night on Late Night, and Bank of America's CEO, Brian Moynihan, talking about trying to ramp up PPP applications. Apparently, she didn't know that the PPP was running out of money. This is after the president has not been able to get out the EIDL grants of $5,000 under the third stimulus. Really, a lot of surprises. And guess what? I'm not done there yet. There's even more breaking developing details across the board. Wall Street is trying to deal with the surprise across the board of what is going on with COVID numbers and also unemployment numbers. And this comes after Moderna has now just said that its COVID boost shot could help you battle the variant. The Dow ended flat and the NASDAQ pulled back, but the crypto market remained all over the place today. And this is after Uber losses dramatically improved thanks to the selling of its driver unit after the market closed. Let's cut back to forced stimulus and tell you what else is surprising across the board today. Forced stimulus is paid for by raising corporate taxes. Now, I'm not saying to you that you're not getting a forced stimulus check, but I am saying to you for the second day in a row, there's something pushing back on forced stimulus. Forced stimulus is paid by changing the corporate tax rate. A new poll today says that 59% of Americans polled do not support changing the corporate tax rate to pay for forced stimulus. And guess what also happened today? Janet Yellen reportedly told press that she had met with foreign leaders about trying to get a commonality of the corporate tax rate so that they wouldn't have to modify stuff for purpose of forced stimulus. And she couldn't get it. All right, let's cut back to that forced stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check, and all the details you need to know about it. First, this forced stimulus check is a monthly stimulus check. And what's really a big issue for this monthly stimulus check is that every month it doesn't go out, it costs you a stimulus check. But the worry across the board is an economic rebound before they get the stimulus check out the door or jobs are restored. Here's what you need to know is that we on this channel look at two jobs numbers every reoccurring basis. First, I went out of focus again. First, we look at the number of new jobless claims every Thursday, and we're going to see that this week. Then we also look at the number of new jobless claims once a month. That number is coming out this Friday. So between Thursday and Friday, you are going to see a lot of data that could signal whether we need stimulus sooner rather than later. There's two permutations at issue for your forced stimulus check. First, if the economy is rebounding too quickly, there's a worry that the vote may come too late. Second, if the economy is rebounding too slowly, there's a concern that people need stimulus sooner than later. Now, what is also developing is that forced stimulus is getting unilateral support across the board. It's important to understand that forced stimulus is the single biggest payout you ever had on this channel, but guess what? The president proposes under fifth stimulus this fall to pay $24,000 to a newborn child over 6 years. And when we're talking about forced stimulus, we're only talking with you about $8,000, $12,000. So your number pales in comparison. Yes, why is he paying $24,000 to newborn children under the fifth stimulus over 6 years? And he doesn't want to give a $5,000 grant, business grant to you. He doesn't want to give you $24,000 of stimulus checks. Here's what you do need to know. I've seen a series of comments from viewers over the last few days. Is there any stimulus checks in the month of May? Is there any stimulus checks in the month of June? And why is it taking all the way to July to get this fourth stimulus check out the door? I'll have all those details and more coming up after the commercial break, but here is first a little bit about the community page and the people that can help get you money right now, not 5 weeks from now and not 5 months from now. Here's a little bit about the community page, which is also in the pinned comment to this video and also in the description, news.lalate.com/community. I'll be back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues in 2 hours from now on Evenings LA. That'll have different content, but cover both your fourth stimulus and your fifth stimulus. And then 2 hours after that is LA Late Night, our Reverend Only Sirloin and Javita Late. How are you? It's Afternoons LA. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Hope I'm staying in focus. It's just one of those days. In, out of focus, out of focus. Hope you are doing well. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. And I'm in the live chat, so say hi, how are you? Fourth stimulus has pulled a lot of questions in recent days, and I'm here to answer them right now. When would you get the fourth stimulus check? Month of July. For the month of July? Yes. And every month thereafter? Yes. How would I physically get the check? They haven't said. My guess is they would likely do it the Harris-Sanders approach from their 2020 bill, which is send you a debit card and replenish it every month. Would it come in waves? No, it can't come in waves because it's a monthly stimulus check. Should I file a tax return to update myself to ensure I get a fourth stimulus check? That is a really fascinating question. So I got that question earlier today, and there's two permutations. A person who got a third stimulus check but doesn't file tax returns got the second one fine, got the first one fine. Everything was fine. Should you file a tax return to ensure you get the fourth one? I would. If your tax return's all zeros, just still file that 2020 tax return. The Social Security Administration issued an advisory today with IRS that if you're missing a first, second, or third stimulus check, file that tax return immediately to ensure you get it. But if you're watching this channel and you're wondering, should I file it even if I got all three to get ready for the fourth? I would. Here's an example that dates back to 2020. In 2020, I had one viewer who dropped in the comments, said she hadn't filed a tax return in 10 years. She was a senior. But she understood the importance of the second stimulus check. And no, it was the first stimulus check, actually. And it was just when this channel started. And she said, I heard you talk about the importance of filing that tax return. So I went to all my girlfriends in the senior center and I got them to file all their tax returns. They're all zeros. And guess what? We all got our stimulus checks exactly as soon as it went live. Thank you. It was a great set of advice. So what I need you to know is that, yes, if you always live at the same address, then get that tax return on file. I got to tell you, when we're talking about forced stimulus, when we're talking about the children, when we're talking about an employment refund, you need to ensure that you're not really changing addresses during this next few months because there's a lot of money coming. You don't want to list a bank account and then close that bank account because that's going to cause a lot of problems. So if you don't want to list a bank account, don't do it. And if you have an address you've always been at, then use that address and away we go. Now, there's a lot of other money that's coming live under third stimulus, and it's coming live this week. And let me go over all the money and how do you get in, what do you not get. Is there a May and June stimulus check? There is not, but there is May and June stimulus money coming across the board. Let me go over what it is. Number one, college student, there's $1,700 available for you. Reach out to your financial advisor. Number two, if you worked during the pandemic, if you were unemployed during the pandemic and you got unemployment assistance and paid your 2020 tax return, paid your 2020 taxes, and also paid taxes on that unemployment, you're getting a refund starting this week. If you're a single filer, if you're a married filer, like husband and wife, joint filer, that you're in phase 2 and you'll be coming out later this month. Let me explain what you're getting and how much you're getting. You're getting the portion of the taxes you paid on that federal tax return of the $10,200, your first $10,200 of unemployment. Here's an example. Let's say you got $9,000 of unemployment last year. You filed a tax return and your total tax liability was $5,000, but of that $1,000 was for unemployment. That unemployment taxes, you're getting a $1,000 check back. Next, if you did not file your 2020 tax return yet, but took out for federal taxes each week when you got your unemployment checks last year, you have to file a tax return. You have to file a tax return to get that refund. Here in those first two permutations you're seeing, you're only getting the money back for unemployment if you file a tax return. So I've had a lot of people saying, when am I automatically getting that refund? There is absolutely no automatic refund. There isn't unless you've already filed that tax return already. So people who don't file tax returns aren't getting anything. You need to follow those two steps. Finally, the third one, if you haven't filed the tax return and you didn't take out for unemployment, then you got nothing to worry about. When you file that tax return, make sure you don't pay taxes on the first $10,200. All right, what else is available for money right now? Well, the rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and homeowners assistance, that money is now landing in the states. Go get it. Boy, I think Evening's LALATE today was taped before the news of the eviction moratorium came in. Boy. So now that you've seen that a federal court has ruled that the CDC eviction moratorium is unlawful, there's questions whether that rule will carry over into other jurisdictions because it's only a one jurisdiction ruling. So with that, you need to know that you need to get that rent and utilities and mortgages and money right away. Don't sit around and just hold the CDC order and not collect the money. Go get the money. How much money can you get? About $5,000 for the rent, a couple $1,000 for the utilities. You can get the mortgage and also the utilities as well. That's just from the federal government. You can also get money from the nonprofits like United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities. Reach out to the volunteers if you're having problems getting it. Where do you get it? City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. And State Hall and State Housing Authority. What other money can you get now? Well, the restaurant grant has gone live. The shuttered venue grant has gone live. The EID alone is live, but the PPP is now closed. So, God, can you imagine in 24 hours I said it was open and now it's gone and ran out of money? So if you do have the application pending, you're good. But things are moving quickly, folks. The money is running out for certain things. That's why forced stimulus is very important. And that's why getting the money for third stimulus as a purple hawk, before anyone else is very, very important. The $5,000 EIDL grant has not gone live yet. I'm watching for it, and I'm sure you are as well. So what else is available? SNAP. Now, SNAP is an insane amount of money, especially if you're a large family, and it alleviates so much financial burden for you and is so easy to get. Why would you not get it? You can get it if you make less than $75,000 a year. Done. I mean, I can't remember the exact threshold, but it's somewhere around there. Done. Reach out to Department of Agriculture and get it. Let me tell you how much money it is. A family of four in Hawaii would normally get $1,400 a month. Well, guess what? Trump and then Biden gave 2 executive orders, which increases it 15% for 1 year. So that family of four in Hawaii now getting about $16,000 a year. Yes, $16,000. Imagine if you don't have to pay for food, then how much you could use that money for something else that you have to pay off. You use it to pay the water bill, you use it to pay the heating oil bill, you use it to fix the truck, you use it to pay the daughter's dentist bill, you use it to pay it for something else. That's how we do it on this channel. Not tracking checks, cashing checks. Finally, forced stimulus. Let's go back to forced stimulus. People have been asking when, how, and what's going on. The President of the United States' team has been doing a narrative over the last few days that he's trying to get bipartisan support, go to world leaders, have meetings after meetings. Ultimately, this is starting to turn into a little bit of a credibility push because people are starting to wonder, why is there so much talk about trying to do bipartisanship? You've done it for what, 3 months? You don't have it. Time to do the recon. Now, ultimately, Purple Power, the viewers of this channel, I affectionately call Purple Power, push for recon. It's not a do or die moment at the moment, but we can start pushing right now. So I certainly want to make that message in this video. Start pushing this president, start pushing his elected officials, tag the press secretary, tag the president, tag the vice president, tag his chief of staff, Ron Klain, tag Mayor Pete, tag Chuck and Nance, and say, start the recon. Start the recon. It takes 2 months. We are at the 2-month spot now. Guess what today is? Cinco de Mayo. When did Leah Schumer and Speaker Pelosi say they would call for a vote? July 4th, no later than July 4th. So get it started. We're at the 2-month now. It can be done in less than 2 months, but every day that passes, people wonder, why not start it? So let's start it. Now, I do know that a lot of subcommittees have been working on stuff, but I mean literally physically start it. Let's start with the recon. And with that, I hope you have valued this recording. There is a lot that happened in today's events. And boy, let me see if I can recap them all for you right now if you just joined in live. $1,400 third stimulus checks landing in bank accounts still from the third stimulus package. 4 stimulus monthly stimulus checks starting in the month of July when they get this bill to a recon and out to a vote. Biggest payback you ever seen in the history of this channel. And then a series of major developing details today. First, eviction moratorium ruled unlawful. Second, Social Security and IRS said file a tax return. File a tax return if you're missing a stimulus check, especially if you're worried about that third one, haven't gotten it. Third, states were ordered by the Department of Labor to return money to you that states ordered you to return to them. These are states that contacted you and said they had overpaid you, asked you to repay them back, and you did. Now the Department of Labor says those states have to return that money to you, and it could take upwards of a year to do it. Fourth, a series of states led by Republican governors could quickly end FPUC faster than anticipated. FPUC is that add-on of $300 a week on top of UI and PUA, which ends in September. And now after Montana, I was going to say Alabama, after Montana decided to do that, there's a worry that a lot of other states could be doing as well. Fifth, Dr. Walensky, head of the CDC, says that the B117 variant is exploding and we could see a major surge across the board. And this is what we were worried about COVID with those variants before we get to the end. Finally, the CDC eviction moratorium ruled unlawful by a federal court out of D.C. It's unclear whether other jurisdictions will hold that same position. And finally, the surprising details, not surprising to others, about Dogecoin. Dogecoin has really become the gamble, the casino, the gambling Montauk of poster child for crypto. There is no logical notion of to what it's doing. And that ultimately, if you own it, congratulations, enjoy the run, but be ready to get out when you got to get out, and be understanding that when you have to get out, it may be very difficult to get out. The systems may lock up. Second, if you've not gotten into it, do not get into it. It's too high. It has no value. It has no inherent purpose. And that what you're seeing right now is a lot of gambling. It's not investing. So ultimately, I want to ensure that you're safe across the board. I'm back with you in 2 hours from now with Evenings LA, and that will have big updates across the board about what is in that fifth stimulus. That fifth stimulus has a lot of money for you, and including it is SSI and SSDI reform, and I'll detail that in that recording. And then we join back in late night, 2 hours after that. With that, stay informed, stay focused, keep on always smiling. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. So subscribe to this channel. Say hi, I'm in the live chat. Subscribe, like the video. It really, really helps in the algorithm rankings. And stay with LA for more.